Okay, here we go. Mike Denny with Joplin Comedy. He's going to attempt to teach me how to write a joke. We're going to start this, kind of make it a process so you can learn along at home too. I've always thought this would be interesting. So
these are just the things that I've picked up.
Okay.
You're supposed to, there's this thing called the Comedy Bible, and there's all these books you can get. I have actually never read any of these books. I kind of have a weird thing about reading too much about the craft of something, and it just ruins it for me. So I've just kind of just done my own thing, and I've taken a lot of advice from, you know, the road dogs is what we call them, you know, just guys who tour for a living and stuff like that. But the one that really stands out in my mind, the first one I really got from just from a pretty big comic. Of course I'm blanking on his name. It happens like, man, you meet like 100 comics like every couple months.
And then you blank on stage, I'm sure.
Oh, that happens. That happens a lot, and there's tricks to that as well.
Okay.
You have to get to the funny quick.
Okay, I'm taking notes. So
that's probably like this guy who said, "I really love your writing, but man, get to the funny quick."
Okay.
You know, it's a good joke, but you know, shorten it out. Basically, what it is like you can write as big as you want, but you want to go through that story or through that joke and just get rid of things that doesn't help move the story.
Okay.
Like if you take it out, does the story still make sense? Then the story doesn't need it, or the joke doesn't need it.
Okay.
So, I think one of the other things is be relatable. You know, don't talk about a subject that, you know, maybe two people in the audience are going to get.
Sure.
So you kind of avoid that inside joke thing. You know, you might have family out there, but they're the only ones that know you.
Yeah, you can tell that one at the family gathering.
Exactly. And no one's going to be like, "Hey, Deborah, remember red shirt? You and Deborah are the only ones going to be laughing." So don't think that. So there's a really hard translation between, like, I've grew up, like, my friends always saying that I was funny and everything, but I've always thought that's not going to translate on stage. And it doesn't. You know, and I haven't really tried bringing any of that stuff to the stage. I just write new stuff. Okay. But it's tough, and I'm learning how to put more of my personality into my sets. But it takes a little bit of time.
I bet.
Because basically what it is, that the audience doesn't have enough time to get to know you. So what your job is to get them to know you as quickly as possible.
That is a good point.
Yeah, like basically small bits of information that turns into like something big in you know, the audience mind.
Okay.
So that, I know that's kind of tough. Like one of the first things I do, I always come out and I address my tattoos and the way I look. You know, and that just seems that almost it just sets up for the rest of my stuff. They know I'm probably gonna be a little off kilter, a little different, and all that. So I mean, it's one joke that kind of describes my personality, and then we just move on from there. Okay. And I would do it, but it's not exactly living well friendly. So.
Mine would be living well friendly.
And I don't get up there and I don't swear a lot, but my subject matter is adult. So you gotta pick a subject matter and also know your audience. You know, you gotta know the audience. So, like I've stood up in front of audiences and realized that none of my stuff was going to work. And I had to sit there and just rework the whole set in my brain within 5-10 minutes.
Oh gosh, that makes me sweat right now.
You get up there and you didn't read the audience right, and you're switching gears in the middle of your set. That's a lot of fun. But once you write 20-30 minutes worth of material, often in your first few years, you're never doing more than 10 or 15 minutes anyway. So if you got a good 30-minute solid set, you can start just pulling pieces out in the middle of your set. You don't have to worry about anything because you've got 30 minutes worth of solid material that you can start, well, that joke isn't working, so we can just pull
I'm like sitting here just trying to think of anything, and all I can think of is little things that I tell my friends to make them laugh, and that's not going to work. So.
Sometimes that does. I mean, I do that. Now I do that. Like if I say something, and like especially if my comic friends laugh. Yeah. Because we're jerks to each other. Like that's not funny. I can't wait till that little joke grows up to you know something. You know. And so if I make my comics friends laugh, you know, then that may be something I need.
That's pretty good. Okay.
So always write. Just no matter how trivial it might be. If you got an idea for something, write it down. Even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Because you'll forget it.
Keep that notepad or phone handy. And just write her down. The thing is too, you gotta, whenever you write your joke, you gotta deconstruct it and just see what's working for it. If something makes you giggle, you know, it's probably something that you can keep in there. You know. Okay. I have a whole lot more, but I think we're running out of time here. The best thing to do is the hook, line, sinker. Okay. You know, come up with the premise, which is your hook, and then the line about that, just to kind of bring in the story, and then your sinker being the punchline. Okay. And a lot of times, what you want to do is you want to set them up for something completely different. That's usually where the funny is at. Like whenever they don't see the punchline coming.
I don't know if I can do this, but...
Yeah, I had a joke example for you, but we've got like 15 seconds.
Okay, well, how about you save it for next time, because people, do this with me. This could be fun. If you come up with something and you want to send it to me on Living Well, and I'll see if Mike thinks it's funny, and then if we don't think it's funny, we'll say, maybe when that joke grows up, it'll be funny.
Yeah, it takes performing it. I've heard jokes that I can't retell that are dumb.
Yeah.
But you just see certain performers do it, you're like, holy, that was
it's all
amazing.
the delivery.
Yeah, but then whenever you get home and you deconstruct the joke, that joke was nothing. But it's the person too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many moving parts with comedy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's just so interesting to me. I've always thought it was neat. So thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, no
Come back
problem.
and we'll keep adding to it, and you guys can do it with us. Well, we need all